What's up, y'all? It's Christian Covington. This video is about people who are mixed with black. I felt like it was extremely important to include people who are mixed with black as a part of this Black History Month series because being black is a part of their identity. So I asked 10 people who identify as mixed, who are mixed with black, to make a video describing their experiences. This video is not about the quality, it's about the content, so keep that in mind. Once again, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone who participated in this video. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to it. Black and.
When I think about being mixed, I think a lot about my childhood and how challenging that was for me, trying to really figure out my identity and figure out who am I, how do I identify, what does being mixed mean to me, what does being black mean to me.
I was born to a black mom and a white dad, and I feel like when people looked at me, they didn't know where or who I came from. I remember one time in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, with like a 99.9% white population, we were walking to the rec center with my dad, and a little Caucasian kid said, "Mom, why is her dad white and she's a black girl?"
My biological father was black and Apache, and my mom is like super white, like color of paper. I grew up in a town of about 500 in southwest Colorado, and it's white. There was a time when I was in about first grade, I think. Some kid told me that like my mind was twisted and my hair showed it. As if I couldn't already be different enough.
So I identify as black and white. When I was growing up, it was a lot of, like when I was with my white friends or family, it was a lot of, oh, you're acting too black, or your black side's coming out, or I just looked different from my family, literally, because my hair, because my skin color, because the way I talk, the way I act.
I'm black and Hispanic and mixed with a bunch of other things, but I do consider myself mixed. When I was younger, I always had long hair, and it wasn't necessarily a very coarse texture. It was a loose curl, and I got a lot of attention from my black side and my black friends, and they would always say like, "Oh, that must be your Hispanic side because we don't have hair like that." But when I would have a different hairstyle, like let's say when I wore my hair in an afro or got braids, my Hispanic side would think that was so cool and so unique.
I'm mixed with Mexican and black. Growing up was kind of difficult for me. I didn't necessarily fit in with either culture. I wasn't considered, Mexican enough for the Mexican girls because I don't speak Spanish. I wasn't considered black enough to hang out with the black girls because I talk like a white girl. So I just kind of found myself hanging out with other mixed girls.
I'm black, Mexican, and white. Growing up, it was kind of tough. I lived in Michigan for about 5 years, and I was one of the only others that lived there. So, it was tough because the girls that were considered the popular, beautiful ones were the ones with the blonde hair and blue eyes. So that was nothing on what I looked like. So I felt really uncomfortable and ugly, in my own skin, which definitely isn't good.
I'm black, white, and Hispanic. I feel like I'm accepted at times, and at other times, for instance, like sometimes you're too white to play basketball when I was a kid, but at the same time I was too black or Hispanic to dress a certain way or speak a certain way.
All of my black friends would tell me that I was whitewashed, or I acted white, or I talked white, but then all of my white friends would say that I was like ghetto and that I basically like acted too black. So I acted too white for my black friends, acted too black for my white friends, so it's kind of just like...
We at one point had 2 black students come to school with us, and it was only for like a couple of months. But I tried to friend them, and they were like, "Oh, but you're not black enough to be our friends. You're too white, you're too light."
When I was with my black family, I never felt like I fit in either because I was so much lighter than everyone else. Or when I was with my black friends, it would be like, "Oh, you can't say this word because you're not full black," or "Oh, you can't do that because you're not full black."
When I was growing up, it was a little different just because I really didn't look more mixed than anything. I looked predominantly black, and if you look at my parents, you probably wouldn't even tell that I was mixed.
My journey of being someone who identifies as multiracial, more specifically biracial, has been challenging to say the least.
Some people want you to choose, like, either you're Mexican or you're black, but that's not the case. Like, I'm both. That's never gonna change. So I'm never gonna choose between them.
The biggest problem I had this year was probably the presidential election and how part of my family felt like they wanted to vote for Trump and part of them wanted to vote for Hillary. And for me, the issue with that is that they voted for a man who goes against everything that I am. I thought they should have thought about me as their niece or granddaughter or whatever the case may be, that, oh, I do have a black granddaughter in this world and Trump's not for her rights and for her beliefs, so why would I want to vote for somebody who's not going to be there for my family, you know?
I always identified as mixed, and then when I was about 19, I got pulled over, and on my ticket they put that I was black, and I thought that was really interesting, and I had told this one cop that I was cool with about it. He was a black cop too, and I was like, well, I identify as mixed, but he put black on my ticket, and he said, girl, you better, knock that mixed shit out, because when you leave your house and you're, navigating the world, you're seen as black.
I was stereotyped for both races. Because I'm Mexican, I must be illegal, I'm an immigrant, I'm not here legally, or I'm just gonna be like the other girls and drop out of high school at 15 and get pregnant. And because I'm black, like, I was stereotyped, like, oh, your hair must not be real, that must be a weave, because black women can't grow long, beautiful hair, They must be poor and live in the ghetto.
Being Mexican, though, it's funny because moving up here to Fort Collins, worked at Finish Line, and everybody, like, a lot of the Latinos would walk up to me kind of like, "You speak Spanish? Habla español?" I'd be like, nah, no habla español.
I was living in the dorms, and there was a girl who lived in the dorms that wanted to use my blow dryer to straighten her hair. And of course I said yes, and she then asked me, do you have a comb on your blow dryer? And I said no, but before I had a chance to say why I didn't have a comb on my blow dryer, she put her hand in my face and said, you're not black, and walked away.
How am I supposed to fit in then when I'm not enough of either of these sides, but on the outside of society, I'm perceived as being an other.
I've never been white enough, never been black enough, and I never will be.
Most people feel like, there's a side of them that they can't connect with, or there's a side that they're not familiar with. I was always able to fit in with both sides.
I guess I could understand why they say it's the best of both worlds. It's like, I can hang around with black people and understand the jokes and get what's going on, and I can also hang around with white people and kind of get the jokes and get what's going on and be accepted.
It's crazy being mixed because you can see both sides, not just one.
I'm a combination of the best of both worlds. I could just be me, whether I want to have black friends or I want to have white friends. I didn't have to pick a side because my parents were white and my parents were black. So I had black friends growing up, I had white friends growing up, and it was just a really great experience.
I've never had a problem fitting in with any type of person. And I think I'm lucky just for that experience.
Being mixed has put great opportunities in my life.
There are privileges that I have that I know that my deep skin tone sisters don't have.
I am less likely to be profiled. They still know that I'm not white, but I'm light.
Some of my family members were really upset that my mom had a mixed child, because interracial kids, is a taboo thing for a long time.
I know interracial dating is kind of a touchy subject for some people. I love the idea of it. I prefer to be with a black man. But with that being said, a lot of Mexican people will look down on me and see me as a disgrace, like, oh, I should be with a Mexican man, like, why am I with this black man? Or a lot of black people will look at him as a disgrace, like, why are you with this Mexican girl? Oh, you should be with a black woman. So it's kind of difficult in that sense because both cultures only see me as Mexican.
I feel like I have to choose a side, and I don't like to have to choose, probably represent the black side of me or the white side of me, because I am who I am. I didn't choose to be mixed, and I don't have a problem with it, but I have to choose a side all the time to represent either myself or what society wants me to represent.
I literally never fit in. People constantly would come up to me like, oh, what are you?
Constantly using extra adjectives to explain my background, my racial background, because everyone seems to want to know. Everyone is super confused by it. Like, everyone's always just kind of like, okay, but like, what are you mixed with?
Or they would like try to guess what my race or ethnicity was. Like, oh, you're Hispanic. Are you Brazilian? Are you black? Oh, are you white? Like, what are you?
Rarely ever people know that I'm black unless either they're mixed or they know. And I mean, and it also has to do a lot with the culture in terms of the way you walk, talk, and act. You know, there's more than just skin color.
For me, the hardest thing about being mixed is being invalidated by people that you identify with or people that you consider to be your people.
Like, you're not actually full black, so how do you identify as black? And that's because that's what I'm most confident in, and those are the people I hang around. I feel like I'm most accepted within the black community.
Most of my friends are people of color now. It's where I feel the most comfortable. It's where I've always felt the most comfortable, but I actually have access to it.
I ended up going to a really diverse high school, and I started feeling less and less uncomfortable in my own skin, and now I feel beautiful in my own skin, you know, like I love being mixed. I'm very proud of who I am.
I think it's just really about learning to find comfort in yourself and not looking for others to confirm who you are, and just loving who you are and feeling beautiful in your own skin.
I love being biracial. I love that it's a big part of my identity, and as I've grown up, I've realized that I am enough for me.
Now being an adult, I have definitely learned to love myself. I can embrace both cultures. I love both cultures. I can relate to both cultures, especially now for me going into motherhood. That's very important, so I can continue to teach, you know, my daughter these things. I want to teach her to love herself and love both of her cultures.
Not only did I learn a lot from both sides, but I got to teach both sides of me. You know, I'm 100% of each.
It's taken me as long as I've been alive to come to grips with who I am, and still every day I fight.
Being mixed it's mixed. It's confusing, it's beautiful, it's weird at times. It's a mix. It's a lot of emotions. It can be challenging. It's kind of all over the place. We're all different, and we all have our own stories, and we all have different things that make us who we are.
Alright y'all, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, I did one about black women, and I also did one about black men. So you should check those out. I have one more next week, ending Black History Month, and that one is gonna be about Q-pop. That means queer people of color, specifically though black people. So people who are black and are also in the queer community. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for next week's video. Feel free to share this video because this is really important content. Alright y'all, peace up, A-Town down, Yiggity.
Yiggity. Yes.